In this video, we will discuss about the introduction of medicinal chemistry, and then we will proceed with the various physicochemical properties and their relation to the biological activity. So, what is medicinal chemistry? Medicinal chemistry basically deals with the discovery and development of agents that are used for treating or managing the diseases. Now, in this definition, you can see we have two important points. One is that it deals with the discovery of new drugs, and then it also deals with the development of that agents that are used for treating or managing the diseases. Now, most of these drugs, they are basically organic compounds, and that they can be either synthetic or natural. Inorganic compounds are also used, like you have studied in the first year, at like antacids, radiopharmaceuticals, and trace elements. But the majority of drugs are the organic compounds. Traditionally, these were the organic compounds. Now we have newer drugs that are even peptides and nucleotides that are being used as a drugs. Okay. So most of the drugs are organic compounds. They can be natural or synthetic. And then we have inorganic compounds like antacids, trace elements, and radiopharmaceuticals that are used as drugs for treatment of diseases or managing of diseases. And then we have we have peptides and nucleotides that are used as drugs. Okay. Now, in order for a drug to exert its action, okay, it has to travel from the site of administration to the site of action. For a drug to exert its action, it has to travel from the site of its administration to the site of its action. Okay, so one is the site at which the drug is administered, another is the site at which the target of the drug is located, and hence the drug has to travel from the site of administration to the site of action of a drug. And for this journey, for traveling from this site of administration to the site of action, it has to pass through various biological membranes. One thing. Then the second thing is it has to avoid deposition in the lipophilic sites that are present within the body, and it has to avoid significant metabolism to produce the biological action. So these are the three requirements for a drug to travel successfully from the site of its administration to the site of its action. That is, it has to cross through the biological membranes, avoid deposition, and avoid significant metabolism. Now, there are various factors that affect the biological activity of a drug. As per the syllabus, we have different categories there mentioned. The first is the pK value and the ionization of a drug, how it affects the biological action. Okay. Now, this is a typical example of a simple acetic acid molecule for trying to make you understand what is the meaning of this pK and the importance of this ionization in the action of a drug. This is acetic acid. It ionizes to form CH3COO- plus a H+. Now, if you find out the Ka value of this acid, it is a weak acid, Ha acid. The Ka value of this is given by this equation, and the value comes to be this 0.000158. Now, rather than expressing the value as Ka, we express the value as pK, and this pK or the p function of Ka can be defined as negative log of Ka, and the value of this then comes to 4.8013. Okay, so this is the concept of You have studied this before, just a revisit to that. Now most of the drugs that are used are either weak acids or they are weak base. Now the decision constant for a weakly acid or a basic drug is generally expressed as pKa for acidic drug, as we have shown in this slide, and then we have pKb for the weakly basic drug, and these pKa values and pKb values, they can be related to the pH by this Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Okay, now the importance of this equation and the importance of this pK and pKb value is that we can calculate, or we can know the amount of drug that is present in the ionized form or in the unionized form at a particular site, if we know the pH, that is at that particular site. Okay, we will see in details by looking at some examples in upcoming slides. Okay, so this is the amount of ionized drug or unionized form of a drug can be calculated by knowing the pH at the site concerned. Now this the value of this K also helps in understanding the ionic format, how a ionic form of a drug crosses over across a pH range, how a molecule behaves across the range of pH. Okay, now the pK of a drug also influences the lipophilicity of a drug, the solubility of a drug, protein binding of a drug, permeability of a drug, and this permeability in turns directly affects the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of a drug, and thus it determines the pharmacokinetic behavior of a drug. This pharmacokinetic behavior means how a drug is absorbed, how a drug is distributed, how a drug is metabolized, and how a drug is excreted. Okay, ADME profile: absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. ADME profile. So these in this slide you can see that the pK value of a drug is very important for the various factors, and it is also important for determining the pharmacokinetic profile of that particular drug. Now there are several sets of pK values that are available in Merck index. We have then these values are also available for most of the compounds in IUPAC and related compilations, and also in certain softwares like ACD lab software and databases. Okay, so this was about the pK value. Now let us further discuss this. Okay, now suppose this is the drug, this is a drug, weakly acidic drug, acetic acid. Suppose this is a drug and it ionizes from this species. Okay, now if the concentration of the ionized species is X, then the concentration at equilibrium of this species, anionized form, is the 1 minus X. Okay, so for the weakly acidic drugs, we define by using Henderson-Hasselbalch equation pH is equal to pK plus log concentration of ionized form divided by the concentration of unionized form. If we put the value of X as the concentration of ionized form and the value of 1 minus X as the concentration of unionized form, we can write this equation in this form, that pK is equal to pH is equal to pKa plus log X upon 1 minus X. Now this equation pH is equal to pKa plus log X divided by 1 minus X can be written as X divided by 1 minus X is equal to antilog of pH minus pK. So if we know the pK of a drug and we also know the pH, then we can get the information about the ionization of that particular drug. For example, if the pK of drug is suppose 4.8 and the pH at the site concerned is 2, its ionization can be calculated by using this formula: X upon 1 minus X is equal to antilog pH, that is 2, and pK is 4.8, so it is antilog of 2 minus 4.8. On solving this, we get x divided by 1 minus x is equal to antilog minus 2.8, that is equal to 0.0015. So it is almost about 1 upon 1 minus x value, it comes around about 0.001. So it means this value, anionized form 1 minus x, is almost 1000 times higher present than the ionized form. Okay, because 1 upon 1000 is 0.001. So this is means that the drug at this pH is mostly in the unionized form. So in this way we can calculate the nature of a drug at a particular pH if we know the pKa value of that drug. Similarly, if the drug is a weakly basic drug, then also we can calculate the same again by using the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for the weakly basic drugs, that is pH is equal to pKa minus log concentration of ionized divided by unionized. Now you can also identify the difference in the equation for the weakly acidic drug and the weakly basic drug. In the case of weakly acidic drug, the equation was pH is equal to pKa plus log ionized upon unionized. In the case of weakly acidic drug, weakly basic drugs, we have pH is equal to pKa minus log of concentration of ionized species upon concentration of unionized species. Now, assuming x to be again as fraction of ionized species, we can write this equation as pH is equal to pKa minus log x upon 1 minus x, and again on solving that can be written as x upon 1 minus x is equal to antilog of pKa minus pH. Okay, in the previous case it was pH minus pK, here it becomes pKa minus pH. So in this way we can calculate the ionization of a weakly basic drug by using this equation. Now from these two equations for the weakly acidic drug and the weakly basic drugs, we can come to the conclusion, following two conclusions. Number one, that weakly acidic drugs means the drugs that are having the larger pKa values. As the example we have seen, acetic acid molecule, it was having a pKa value of a 4.8, so it was a weakly acidic drug, and this exists in the predominantly it exists in the unionized form in the gastric fluid. The pH of gastric fluid is around 1. On the other hand, weakly basic drugs, those are defined as the drugs that are having the pKb value nearer to the 8. They exist in ionized form in the gastric fluid and unionized form in the intestine, because we know in the intestine the pH is around 7, whereas in the gastric fluid it is around 1. So in the weakly basic drugs, they exist in ionized form in the gastric fluid and unionized form in the intestine. Okay, so this was the importance of pK value and the ionization of a drug. In the next video we will discuss about the further physicochemical properties and the action or their effect on the biological activity of a drug.